From the Altai Mountains in the east to the Caspian Sea in the west, Russia in the north to China in the south, Kazakhstan is the ninth largest country in the world. It is also termed as the world's largest landlocked country. And apart from the majestic landscapes that it offers, it is known for its oil or black gold. It is one of the world's most mineral-rich nations as well. Also home to a number of ski resorts and much, much more. Kazakhstan is also India's key political, economic and trade partner. To discuss more about the bilateral relationship that is shared between India and Kazakhstan, I have with me Mr. Yerlan Alimbayev, who is the Kazakhstan ambassador to India. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on Money Control, taking out the time and being with us. Let me begin by understanding from you what is the kind of importance that India holds in Kazakhstan's importance when you talk about the bilateral relationships.
Yeah, hi, Sakshi. So it's my great pleasure to be here at the studio. So, as you rightly mentioned, the Kazakhstan considers India as its great trade partner and the political partner, and we attach a great importance to our Kazakh-India relations, and we have historic roots deep in the past. So for now, I can say that India holds a special place in our trade and economic and political cooperation with rest of the world. So. For example, in 2019, for 11 months of last year, we had only trade turnover as 1.6 billion US dollars. It's the largest trade cooperation, trade relations in whole Central Asia. So this amount exceeds total trade with the rest of the Central Asian countries. Actually,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
And so we can say that India is also our largest partner in terms of the cooperation in other fields. Like, for example, we have a good military technical cooperation, and we have exchange of our students and business people and the tourists. The tourists visiting from India, Kazakhstan, and the Kazakhstan citizen traveling to India, the number is very high and increasing year after year. So, for example, last year we had a good number of more than 100,000 of Indians visited Kazakhstan. And we also enjoy the Indians can enjoy the 72 hours visa-free regime if they travel via Kazakhstan to a third country. And so maybe it's it also because of the good flight connection, and we have two flights a day operated by Air Astana, national air carrier, and starting from September. We also have some plan to open a new flight from Mumbai to Almaty, so with frequency of 4 flights a week.
Also, let me ask you, when we talk about the trade relationship, which are the prominent areas or sectors of the economy where we exchange trade?
For the last year, we had in export items mostly the crude oil. And the Kazakhstan is biggest uranium supplier for India, and it's a second item. And the third is like we have export of tea and some medicines, pharmaceuticals, and backwards we also export to India again the silver powder and some goods. Exceptional special goods and for the machinery.
All right. Recently, as far as investments are concerned, you had opened a representative office of the Kazakh Invest national company in Delhi. So, what has happened so far as investments are concerned from both the nations for each other?
Yes, you're right. Since May 2019, last year, recently, we have a regional director of joint stock company, national company, Kazakh Invest, in New Delhi. So yeah, it helped very much because we on the spot. We have a the office which can deliver and explain the person. I mean, who can explain all the preferences government of Kazakhstan can offer for investors from India, and we did a very good job since that time. And for example, we already visited with the regional director of Kazakh Invest, the 5 regions, states of India, and for now we are looking for having some business and investment forums with participation of large number of Indian business community.
Right.
And for this year, we have a great expectations. Just in February, on 6th February, in Delhi, we'll host the first ever meeting of India Central Asia Business Forum. So the new mechanism of regional cooperation as so-called India Central Asia Business Council will be created.
Okay. I really wanted to understand what is the kind of cultural and educational relations that we share between Kazakhstan and India as well.
Yeah, thanks for your question, and it's one of our important sectors of cooperation, and it's I think the people-to-people contacts and the cultural exchanges we have, and for example, as I mentioned while just preparing for this interview, I'm a graduate of the Kazakh State University of the Oriental Faculty, and I did a bachelor's in Urdu, and then I studied Hindi before doing my master's in international relations at the Geneva School. So when it comes to the cultural cooperation, we should mention that they go to very deep past. So since Silk Road, and we had our ancestors who visited, and they had good relations. They traded with Indian partners that time, and of course these days, as I mentioned before, we have good air connections, and we have student exchange programs. The ITEC and the ICCR are doing a very great job.
And lastly, I want to just ask you about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, the meeting this time around in this year is slated to happen in the month of October, and that is going to be happening in India. So what, if you could just give us an outlook of what could be the agenda of the meeting of these heads of the government of 8 countries?
As a former national coordinator for Shanghai Cooperation Organization issues from Kazakhstan, before coming here as an ambassador, I can tell that it's very close to me. And so India had a great step. It has taken a great step, and they decided to host the next meeting of this SCO, State Governments Council in India. As far as I know, it's gonna be in October or November.
Right.
So the agenda is very. It's actually we have some fixed agenda for this kind of summit, but still the host country, India, can offer put some other items. So, for example, we have 4 to 5 fixed agenda items in the agenda, like the further what is the status of bilateral, I mean the relations within the Shanghai Cooperation Alliance now, and what is the perspectives, and in terms of the regional and international perspective. I mean perspectives. So and of course heads of governments, they will approve the budget of the organization for the next year, and they will discuss the agenda in terms of the economic cooperation within the SCO.
All right. Thanks a lot, sir, for taking out the time and being with us on Money Control. It's been a pleasure speaking to you and to understand about the bilateral relations that India and Kazakhstan share with us.